In 2025, I focused more on watching shows at various amusement parks that I visited, seeing about 60 shows over the course of the season. Most were at parks near me in Texas, with Six Flags Fiesta Texas, SeaWorld San Antonio, and Six Flags over Texas being my main parks for shows. And I still miss some of the shows at these parks as I work weekends and or was not able to make it to every single show. I wanted to rank my favorite shows as a way of looking back at the 2025 season. And don't take this as a definitive list. Even for myself, these shows could easily be in a different order as most were enjoyable. For example, Voodoo Dolls, which won the golden ticket for Best New Show, just didn't really click with me, so it ranks lower than maybe it should. When comparing two shows, I think about how much I want to seek out and watch it again. I also did not focus on shows at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, despite my 2 days there, so none of those shows will be on this list. Just missing the top 50 were number 55, Dance Sock Parade, number 54, Peppa Pig Comes to Play, which was cute, but for young kids. Number 53, The Beer Tapping Ceremony. Number 52, Ocean Discovery, which was my second most watched show of the year. And number 51, Imagine Ocean. Imagine Ocean is worth a watch, even as an adult. I've just seen it a lot at this point, including 2 times this year. Number 50, Fiesta De Los Muertos. This Spanish celebration adds an extra touch to Fright Fest, and was truly enjoyable, even if I don't understand a lot of Spanish. Number 49, Rescue Junior Extravaganzabration. This dance party show creates a fun atmosphere with song and dance, and brings out the big man himself, Shamu. I'm not a huge fan of the style of show, but it works for its main audience of kids in Rescue Junior. Number 48, Siren's Song. This had a fascinating venue that helped give that extra touch of spookiness to the show, while offering an engaging song and dance routine. It just didn't have that extra touch to engage me, though I was likely very tired by the time this show rolled around. Number 47, Rescue Junior Jinglebration. This dance party has a decent story with about 10 minutes of show building up to dancing with Shamu. This is extra special at Christmas time, as dancing along with your favorite characters to Christmas tunes is just something that can put you in that Christmas spirit. Number 46, The Mistletones. This year, the Mistletones were moved indoors to the Crazy Horse Saloon, which allows for a bigger and warmer area for guests to watch. But the background music seemed a bit too loud in that it drowned out the strong vocals of this group, which seemed to be a common complaint with other shows at Six Flags over Texas. The song selection for the show is a bit older in style, but with the humor of the group, that does work. Number 45, the Tree Lighting Ceremony at Over Texas. The tree lighting at Over Texas lacks that special charm. With no pre-show, this is only like a 7-minute affair. The song selection is good, with a nice medley of short clips of various songs, many of which are more unique Christmas songs, which works very well for a show of this type. The lighting of the tree itself does have a countdown, but the whole tree lights up at once, so it just feels like a little bit less than it could be. Number 44, Monster Stomp. The stadium for this show was packed, and it combines a spooky theme with the banging of Stomp to create an engaging performance for adults and families alike. I was pretty tired by the time the show came around, so the rhythmic beating didn't engage me as much as maybe it could. Overall, this just wasn't my cup of tea, despite the impressive performance. Number 43, the GummBeaux. The set list for the show was actually a bit more my style, so I did enjoy the piano music on this Wild West street. But the comedy just did not seem to click. It is an interesting setup, but the sun was also really bright in Crackaxle Canyon where they were at, so that might have contributed to my overall meh mood towards this show. Number 42, Rudolph's Brass Band. This is a neat little stage outside the Penguin exhibit, and the band was enjoyable to see as I was missing out on those Christmas tunes by the time I got back to see it. Plus, the show itself mixes in the music, some fun little gags, and a narrator that helps tie everything together. Number 41, Rockville Beach Party. This large show for the summer just didn't quite click with me, as it felt like a lesser version of Splash from SeaWorld that went off in a weird direction towards the end. Still, there were cool songs, it just didn't mesh with me. Number 40, The Great Elf Show. One of the few Christmas shows around Houston, this radiates that church camp feel, as does the whole Victory Camp complex. The acting is subpar, as it is obviously high school students performing, but that really just adds to the overall charm of the show as an adorable Christmas performance. Number 39, Farmer Beau's Pig Races. With cold weather, I only saw a 10-minute version of this show, as the pigs did not go through the water. My show did feature one of the goats escaping, which is unique, and listening to the corny jokes while seeing the various farm animals is always fun. And I was glad that I was able to catch this show at P6 Farm. Number 38, Dicken's Carolers. The selection of songs here is slower and offers more somber music, so it's not nearly as uplifting as the other shows on this list. Still, if you're looking for a more pensive moment, this show has its place in the Christmas lineup. Number 37, Rhythmix. This featured various songs from around the world, which was neat to see, though the sound and vocal quality seemed to be a bit less than maybe it could have been, or it would have ranked higher, as it was a solid concept with great visuals. Number 36, Rooftop Showdown. This pre-rope drop show gets guests excited for their day at Frontier City. There's nothing like seeing a Wild West showdown in a western street. I was distracted thinking about rope drop and did miss some of this show, or it could likely rank even higher. Number 35, Brass Animals. Getting me in the mood for Mardi Gras was this brass band that plays a long set, which is great as I sipped my free SeaWorld alcohol. I do wish this was in a different venue where it would be easier to just sit and enjoy the music. Number 34, Cajun Critters. With SeaWorld's focus on the all-new Rescue Junior area, this show was not in Rescue Junior, but did perfectly what SeaWorld is trying to do: talk about and show their rescue animals while having an engaging show for kids and families. Number 33, Twas a Merry Mishap. This is a skit for kids that goes kind of through the poem "Twas the Night Before Christmas." This was much improved with the new venue, so you can now easily hear the various dialogue. Still, it felt a bit short at only 10 minutes. Number 32, Crackaxle Carolers. This smaller show engages one with catchy Christmas carols that you can either listen to or sing along with. This set list seems slower and more somber than what they had last year, but the finale showed off the skills of these carolers, and truly is a wow moment for holiday in the park. This show is at awkward times, making it difficult to catch along with the other shows, which is part of the reason it just can't move up my rankings. Number 31, Merry Mariachi. These performers have talent, and the show is fun and well worth watching as most of the songs were catchy and enjoyable. There should be performances directly after Ocean Discovery, so that would likely be the easiest time to see this mariachi band. Number 30, Tinker's Bells, and the March of the Toy Soldiers. With a collection of dancing and classic Christmas instrumental music, I really appreciated this show as a complement to the others in Fiesta Texas's lineup. Watching both the soldiers and ballet dancers is special, and the viewing angles were much improved in 2025. Number 29, the Voodoo Dolls. This is the big production in Rockville High for Mardi Gras, and even won the golden ticket for Best New Show of 2025. The special effects and songs are interesting, but some of the audio was a bit hard to understand, and the overall feel was a bit dark, especially considering the high number of kids and families that were attending the event. This does a good job of incorporating various songs while dressing them up with just a small bit of dialogue around them. But still, this just misses the mark, at least for me. But likely, the show will appeal to certain audiences, especially those looking for quality songs along with a slightly darker theme. Number 28, SteamHeist Stunt Show. Professor Screamore got his own show that was set up as a quasi-Wild West stunt show. This was long and had some neat dialogue and characterization, as well as a few stunts and fight scenes, some that even spilled over into the audience. The acting level seemed to be a bit underwhelming, though I may have just seen a very early show from the cast. But the idea behind having a show to incorporate an area's theme is an awesome idea that I wish more Six Flags parks did. Number 27, the Big Easy Band. Located in Sangerfest Hall, you likely can get a front row seat if you're just looking to watch this show. I love this band during the Holiday in the Park show, but the song set here isn't exactly as engaging. It does offer a nice way to unwind while listening to some music, and the lady playing the saxophone was incredible, and listening to her was by far my favorite part of this show, and helped boost it up in these rankings. Number 26, King William's Brass Band. Just edging out the Big Easy Band, since a brass band is just a staple of Mardi Gras, and this show features a brass band playing various New Orleans style music, with my favorite being Oh When the Saints Come Marching In. Number 25, Orca Encounter. This is the bread and butter of SeaWorld, and it is something to see the orcas. At this point, I've seen this show many times, as they haven't updated the show since 2020. This show does focus more on conservation and just kind of showing off the orcas, instead of creating a story or other more engaging theatrical elements, which does make me feel it is a little less than maybe it could be. My wife has this as her favorite show and favorite thing about SeaWorld, so it could easily be higher on a list like this. Number 24, Have Yourself a Looney Tunes Christmas. Why Six Flags doesn't have more Looney Tunes shows is beyond me, and seeing the various characters interact while singing zany Christmas songs is something funny and special. Having seen the show a couple of times now, there are just other shows here that are going to radiate Christmas to me, but this is a show kids and adults will appreciate. Number 23, Rhythm Motion Ocean Parade. This new for 2025 parade replaces the beloved Sesame Street Party Parade. For kids and even adults, seeing the Sesame Street characters was always special. But now, the parade does have broader appeal, as the music and cast easily can appeal to both kids and adults alike. With only one real song, the music was a bit repetitive, so I'd like to see a bit more variety. Number 22, Two John Saloon Revue. This show is in a small bar venue, which makes it cool with how close you are to the actors. However, the sound quality and songs just didn't do it for me, as it felt a bit underwhelming as a whole, though it is a fun, quirky, energetic show in a really unique setting. Number 21. Rhythm Motion Christmas Parade. The summer version only had one real song, so the music was a bit repetitive. This version fixed that, as it has the rhythm motion song while the parade moves, but switches to Christmas songs at the 2 points where the parade stops for a few minutes. Number 20. Sing Christmas. Arriving in 2022 to replace the sleigh bells, Sing Christmas follows a few elves who need to figure out how to get in that Christmas spirit, and even features Bugs Bunny. The combination of comedy and Christmas songs should be great, and the show has ranked higher for me in the past due to its combination with the Christmas tree lighting. This was hurt this year as you can crowd in standing to the front row now, so I wasn't able to get a good view after camping out for a seat. Number 19. Christmas Tree Lighting, Fiesta Texas. This show pulls out all the stops, or pretends to, with Looney Tunes characters, Santa on the rooftop, and the iconic countdown to the lighting of the tree itself. There is something special about sitting down while the sun is still out, then getting up in the darkness while snow flutters around the street in Rockville, and the Christmas lights shine in the distance. The current version of the show is shorter than in the past, at only around 10 minutes, as some of its flavor has blended with Sing Christmas. This lack of length, and how difficult it is to see the show, made me drop it down in my rankings, but it could easily be the best show in the park. Number 18. The Fleur de Lis. This show was great as a mix of comedy and singing. Having the janitor join the show was a bit predictable, but all the jokes, though corny, were funny and engaging. The area also has decent sound quality, so the first song was really good with clear audio. The second and third songs were a bit harder to understand, but still very nice. Number 17. Mardi Gras with the Looney Tunes. I love Six Flags incorporating the Looney Tunes into their shows. This created a nice mix of energetic music while offering an engaging show for all ages. Towards the end, children were even invited up towards the front to join in the dance party, which is a nice touch for families, especially if you're visiting while there aren't too many people watching the show. Number 16. The Yule Logs. These two singers provide quality renditions of Christmas classics while having engaging dialogue between the songs to make for an enjoyable set. The song selection is enjoyable, though a bit on the slower side, which makes for a reflective and pensive feel that contrasts nicely with their witty and humorous dialogue. Number 15. Oh Wondrous Night. The largest Christmas show for SeaWorld is a mix of a traditional nativity story along with puppet animals and real animals at the end, creating a nice set of classic Christmas songs and family entertainment. The show is also long, running over 30 minutes, so it packs in everything Christmassy that it can into one show while being similar though contrasting with the majesty of Christmas at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Number 14. Mardi Gras Parade, Fiesta Texas. This is the highlight of Mardi Gras, as everything is building towards the parade, and Fiesta Texas pulls out an impressive number of floats and a nice number of dancers and beads galore, as you get to experience a great way to top off your day. With various places to view the parade from, and many things you'll likely miss the first time around, this is plenty to keep one coming back for more. Number 13. Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. This story is long, clocking in just under the 40-minute mark, and takes a nice spin on a classic Christmas story. As The Muppets Christmas Carol is my favorite Christmas movie, I was hoping that there'd be a bit more humor and talking between the various songs, as well as just catchy original tunes. This version focuses more on theatrical songs and performances in a similar vein to Majesty of Christmas, and it is impressive to see such quality theater, even if I could personally prefer something a bit more accessible to families and younger kids. The Ghost of Christmas Past and the Ghost of Christmas Present both did an excellent job that helped elevate this show. Plus, Tiny Tim gives a home run performance that alone is worth sitting through the 40 minutes of this show. Despite my ranking here, this is both my wife's favorite show and my mom's favorite show at Holiday in the Park, and does so many things well. Number 12. Crackaxle Canyon Stunt Show. Nothing says Frontier City like a gun stunt show, and that's what you get with this goofy show for families. The jokes are corny, but they work well, and it's really neat to see the different stunts and scenes that they're able to do. Number 11. Caliente. I was not expecting to be blown away by this summer's show, but the performances and tunes engaged me start to finish, and I actually am looking forward to catching this show next summer. Number 10. The World of Magic. I enjoy a quality magic show, and with a show founded by a solid magician, this checks all the boxes. With a mixture of jokes and magical feats, this leaves me impressed and wondering about the world of magic, even if magic isn't really related to the theme of Frontier City. It's just so cool to see. Number 9. Clyde and Seymour's Countdown to Christmas. For those who have been longing for the return of Clyde and Seymour's Christmas show, this show is back with a nearly identical script to previous years, though SeaWorld might have added the 6-7 joke. The current Sea Lion shows aren't nearly as funny and engaging as the past shows, so it was incredible just to experience a humorous Sea Lion show again. It is even better that this show can put one right in that Christmas spirit between the rhyming elf, getting ready for Santa Claus, and Clyde and Seymour themselves. Number 8. Holly Jolly Trolley. The song selection here is really solid, with the show starting out with Polar Express and then Baby It's Cold Outside, both of which are my two favorite song performances that I saw this Christmas season. These songs allow the performers to do a bit more acting and choreography, and I'm kinda surprised that Fiesta Texas does not have a similar show with their deep lineup. With seats and better sound quality this year, this show is now in a venue that allows guests to truly love how great this show is. Number 7. Tinker's Toy Factory. Billed as the Christmas extravaganza show for Over Texas, Tinker's Toy Factory does not disappoint as a magical Christmas performance. Having seen the acrobatic show Frost last year, I was hopeful that this would tie similar feats nicely with Christmas song and dance, as Frost did, while adding a bit extra story elements for families, something that was missing from Frost. It does just that, giving a great performance for everyone looking for a solid Christmas show. Some of the songs were a bit hard to understand, as they had a squeaky elf tone to them, which took away some of the magic, at least for me, and the acrobatic feats were a bit dialed down this year, though many were combined with incredible choreography to go along with the dancing elves, so these performances were very impressive nonetheless. Number 6. Splash. This is a mild 60s beach theme, as it started as part of SeaWorld's 60th anniversary, with different catchy songs that performers will dance to, then some perform various tricks with how they can balance themselves. The 2025 version seemed to be more dancing and less tricks, but it is still a really fun show for what it is. Number 5. The Spectral Sisters. This female group did an excellent job singing various Halloween songs, with nice acting in between the songs and only a brief spooky overlay. This show was really fun, as you could jam out to the music and just get into that Halloween spirit. Number 4. The Christmas Presents. I'm a huge fan of this show, and I'm just blown away as the two lead singers really impress me. The show itself will not disappoint, as this will be top-notch vocals of Christmas songs along with some great acting and small lines to help accent each song. Number 3. The Heebie Jeebies. One of the few shows that I eagerly watched a second time, this combined cool Halloween tunes with song and dance in a way that just put me in that rocking mood. Number 2. Hydropower Extreme FX. This end of night summer spectacular is a real treat. They have a house band playing various rock songs from the 80s, so if you know that kind of music, it's nice to hear those songs. Then they have pyrotechnics and fireworks that accompany the various tricks that the water skiers will do out on the water in the dying twilight. After a long day at SeaWorld, this is a nice way to relax, and I got to see this show 5 times this year, easily making it my most watched show of 2025. Number 1. Haunted Hollywood. My favorite show in 2025 was a surprise, as I wasn't expecting to love a Halloween show so much. But the song and dance were just so impressive, and the added horror elements seemed a bit more humorous than anything truly spooky or scary. If you do get out to Fright Fest, make sure to catch this show. Which shows did you like best in 2025? Which parks or events are you excited for in this coming year? Let me know, and as always, cupcake and crap.